Aloha, everyone. We are back for another fun episode. Tonight, I wouldn't say it's after dark, but we just having
Yeah,
fun tonight. And we have some
exactly.
special
We're just
guests.
letting our hair down. We're not going to be in podcast interview mode. We're just letting our hair down, having a little fun with some of our creatives
Yes.
and our indie friends and stuff, talking about, their awesome projects and also their amazing Kickstarters that they just blew out the water.
Yes. So we are going to bring on our friends from Wingless Comics, Brian Lambert, and creator of Her, Malachi Bailey. What's up, gentlemen? Hi.
What? Why do you have the weirdest hello ever? I don't even know what that was.
Oh man, Dana was doing the dance hall air horns. Let's see. Let me
Yes.
I thought they were like one, like they were like deeper air
boop, boop,
horns.
boop. That one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the one I'm used to.
Okay, hold on. I'm
She's trying to find it in her tab.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
I gotta
have it
twist it
on
out.
about when you have to pull it out.
Let's see. Let's do it again. Can you do it again? Is it going? Why isn't it going?
Because you
It's
got
like,
too many
no.
tabs up.
One play only is what it's saying.
Oh, it's trying to charge you for an additional play.
I'm so hard, I guess.
Let's see. Let's try again.
Okay, well, I mean,
Nah, I ain't giving you nothing.
So what's up, gentlemen? Tell us about how you guys are feeling after your Kickstarter.
Yes.
For Nightfall #2. I mean, y'all killed it. So
Yes.
how are you feeling? Are you rested yet? I mean, I know Kickstarters are
Rested?
a
What?
marathon.
Hi,
Yeah.
she's a comedian
No.
too.
Rushed it.
No,
Just
you know
getting
what?
started.
Honestly, though, this one was much easier than part one. Just like the flow, the process, all of it. So I think, well, not I think, in every way we're better off. Obviously, we earned more, had more backers, had more engagement, had more interaction, but that does take a lot of energy. So I mean, it's like a tiring
Mhm.
process. And I definitely think that unless you have some like mega team, or you're a mega corporation, that after a Kickstarter you need some rest and to kind of like just
Yeah.
recharge, because it's hard. It's not an easy thing. You've got to be out there every single day, multiple interviews, multiple ads, posts, just engaging in everything. I mean, it's all worth it ultimately, but it's not like, I don't know, man. It's just not easy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. So for those who maybe missed the Kickstarter, can you tell them a little bit about Nightfall?
Okay?
Yeah, so Nightfall is a 5-part series that we're currently doing. We finished part 2, which brings in some other wingless characters that were not seen in issue number 1. We developed the story more. Brian's going to get on me because he says I'm terrible when it comes to spoilers. Like,
Oh, you're part of hashtag Team Spoilers. We have a group for that.
I am bad.
He's not there's no middle ground with him. Either it's like, hey, so what's Nightfall? Oh, Nightfall is a story we're doing. Or, hey, what's Nightfall? And then he tells the entire story. Like there's no
no middle
balance
ground.
there. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I just sit here and look pretty.
Show that beautiful smile.
You said this line.
You're the
Yeah.
model of the publication. It's like,
Like that.
that's the face of Wingless.
there you go.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what we landed on. Okay. All right.
Remember back
That's what
in
it is.
high school when you had to do like the yearbook photos and the girls had the rose and the guys had that little tuxedo dicky thing they would put on? You like this? We need a tuxedo thing they can just put over us.
Yeah.
The little pillar in the background.
Yes. Okay, we need to hit up Dean's List, Walter Dean from Dean's List. Have him make y'all some. So whenever y'all have these interviews, y'all just put that on, and all you have that little crop top piece. That looks like y'all got tuxedos on.
Yeah, I'm actually in support of that idea.
I'm not.
Of course you are.
I tendered my resignation from Wingless Comics.
No,
that's what we got to do.
No.
It's been fun, guys, and
no, you can't tender your resignation. We need y'all.
We're just getting started. We need you. You know.
No, honestly, it's honestly been like I said, man. Issue 2. The response from everybody's been great, man. It's actually really, really fun. We've done a lot of pretty dope interviews. We spent like damn near 3 hours with Mike Watson on Chat and Draw, Indie Comics Dispatch, Grandmaster Facts, just a bunch of different people, man. And so it was pretty dope. Because every train's got to get moving, right? So it's like, oh man, we got issue 1, and everybody's like, well, cool, you got issue 1, who cares? But to see people coming back, obviously, because we know the names, we get to see the names, so we see the people that are very, very invested in it. First of all, and then the new fans that get invested in it, on issue 1 and 2. And then just really seeing kind of the movement of it build has been pretty dope. And honestly, it's a real fun story. We're at issue 2, like it hasn't even started yet, 2 of 5. So we're not even at like the midpoint where you're like, you get that real high, like, oh shit, it's going down. You know what I mean? Like we're still building to that part. So for somebody like myself or Malachi, who me and him talk about the script all the time, and we're talking about stories and blah blah blah, it's like a really cool geek. I wanted to see like, oh man, I love issue 1. They're anxious for issue 2, but bro, they haven't even seen issue 3, and it's like, I know, right? But what about issue 4? I know, right? But what about issue 5? And you know what I mean? Like, it's really like, no, dude, this continues to build, and I think that's one of the that's one of the reasons that I brought Malachi on to Wingless Comics. Obviously, Malachi, the first person I linked up with and had joined Wingless Comics with me. The fact that like he knows how to build on stories, and he loves that aspect of it, and I love that aspect of it. And so, like I said again, it is really cool. Like Justice issue 1 was fun. Her issue 0 was fun, but like we haven't even scratched the surface because issue 2 of Justice blows issue 1 away. Like issue 1 of her is, you can just completely forget about issue 0 almost because it's that good. And that's not just me just talking, right? Because like I got to back it up at the end of the day. I got to actually have these issues, and if they come back and somebody's like, "Nah, these are trash, bro," like then
they would never.
It's like real talk.
Never.
You know what I mean? Right? But see, and that's the thing. But not everybody in this indie market can say the same. They may have a following. They may have different things, right? There's very few really practice and work on their craft enough to where each issue builds on the story, and they keep putting the building blocks in place as opposed to copying this person or copying this person, or just putting out issues because people already know them.
No shade.
All shade.
Yeah, no shade.
All shade. 100%. Redwood Forest.
Say nothing.
Shade.
He's right.
Cloudy skies. No, I mean, I didn't mean it shady. I just meant like everybody's not as fortunate as us, and so for us to be great the way I feel we are, and that doesn't matter with accolades. That doesn't matter with other people, right? Like for me to have pride in Malachi's storytelling the way I do doesn't diminish anybody else. But I can say, hey, of these 5 people, Malachi is the one who builds on what he's done in the past. Not just continues telling the story, but builds on it. And I feel like all the Wingless ideas and plots and story arcs are like that. And there aren't, again, there's a handful of creators that do that. Some creators just make books to make books, and that's fine, completely fine. It's just a different type of storytelling, and I take pride in the way that we do our storytelling. So that doesn't diminish anybody else. It just means that this is what like our goal and our focus, and I think that we're hammering that goal and focus.
I think that's a fair statement too, for sure. I mean, because there's my husband and I talk about this too, right? Like there's creating comics, but then there's like the bigger the bigger story, the bigger meaning, the bigger purpose beyond it, right? Like, and yeah, I mean, you know, we talk to people and we've been approached by, you know, like news channels, like, hey, tell us about, well, you know, what you guys are doing. And he gets to telling them and they're like, oh, so this is like more than just a comic. Like, and we're like, yes, this is more like of a movement for people to see and reclaim like their power and their stories and their voices, right? Like, and being true to that.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, people create for a lot of different reasons, and I think they're all valid though. Like, it's all voices of expression, right? So
yeah. And so even if you look at the comic market, like very rarely are you going to have like Scott Lobdell compared to like Frank Miller. You know what I mean? Like, for it doesn't matter the reasons. There are people who still love, you know, there are people who love Frank Miller. There are people who love, you know, Scott Lobdell, and for different reasons or whatever. But you're rarely going to have the comparison. But so when you're talking comics, you get into your like your Neil Gaiman, your Frank Miller's, your Alan Moore's, you know, like, and there are a ton. I'm missing a ton of people. Grant Morrison, you know, blah blah blah. There are a ton of authors that I'm missing. But you get, I don't want to say that group, but you do get a group of people that like write different types of narratives. Like, oh man, that Neil Gaiman run on, you know, Sandman was what it was. You know what I mean? Oh, Alan Moore's Watchmen, you know, or Swamp Thing, his run on Swamp Thing. Frank Miller's run on Daredevil. Gail Simone's, you know, numerous runs on numerous comics. But they get put in this certain category where they do a different type of storytelling than, let's say, your Image, you know, writers, early writers, even though those guys are great in their own respect. It's like you know what I mean? Like, they're light years apart. You don't compare. You don't compare Jim Lee's writing to Gail Simone, period. They're both writers, but you don't compare them because they're in two different realms. And
right.
I think a lot of indie is like that as well, right? Like, if we sit here and act like indie doesn't have tiers of like, okay, you just made a book, right? Like, you didn't do no research, but you really wanted to do it. Okay, cool. And you're out there. And then, you know, the next group of people, like the sophomores and then the seniors, you know, then the graduated class. Like, well, if we act like that doesn't exist, and like, we're all in this together, like we are technically, but we're not all on the same playing field. And again, that's neither good or bad. Knowing your playing field is great. Knowing the genre you're going for is great. Knowing what you're trying to bring to the table and what awareness is, and on and on and on, is great. And I think that's something internally that I think the, you know, quote unquote upper echelon artists and creators do. They know exactly what they want to say, even if they don't say it right all the time, but they know where they're going. And then some of the other ones, they don't do that.
Yeah.
And I'm proud to have, you know, this is year one for us, because last year was year zero. And I'm proud to have somebody like Malachi with me that knows exactly what he wants to say, knows what he wants to tell, knows what he wants to represent. And so we don't ever have. What?
I'm outspoken. I mean, if you guys didn't know that.
What? No,
I know.
Crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But kind of to add on to what Brian was saying, it's kind of like high school. You know, you're gonna have your cliques, and you're gonna have the jocks, and you're gonna have, you know, the bookworms, and if you've seen a movie, Not Another Teen Movie, you have like the albino people playing, you know, music outside of the tree, and I'm sorry, I just got a visual of that part of the movie. But there are levels.
I do this all the time too. This is not interview Malachi. This is Malachi.
They didn't know
middle of a really important meeting, and he's like, "Hey, remember that time in Not Another Teen Movie?"
I'm sorry, but not sorry at the same time.
Sorry, not sorry. Jill is saying the genres within genres. Yes.
Agreed.
Yeah. And again, I think it's all so something you said, Moana. It's like it's all valid. So I agree, right? But and I say a huge but. I don't think you can use that validity of art to put out shit. I
Oh,
remember there was a
absolutely.
post
Yeah.
a couple, like maybe like a month or two ago. This dude put out this ridiculous post in one of the creator groups to like prove that people were going to shit on his idea and art is art, and it, he should be allowed to do his art. And I was like, no, you 100% are allowed to do your art, but like people are allowed to tell you it's junk too. Like you did it to prove a point. Your point was so that people would come back on you and say how bad it was, and then people came and said how bad it was, and you were like, you can't do that. Like that doesn't make
Yeah.
sense. Just because your art is valid, because it's an expression of what you're doing. That doesn't absolve it from criticism.
Right.
Like this is the market you're in. It's art. You're actually putting it out there, and someone is going to be like, "No, I hate it." And if their criticisms are valid, hey, that's one thing. If their criticisms are invalid, that's an entirely different set of circumstances. If people are just, oh, I don't like it. Well, why? Just because. Okay, nah. Then you don't matter. But if someone puts out a book and it's got grammar errors, editing mistakes, blah, whatever else, people can say like, oh, it's a bad book. That doesn't mean it's a bad story. That doesn't mean stop doing your art. It actually means do it better. Like you have something, but like work to learn about it and to do it. And that, I think that argument gets caught up with certain people, because certain people just put out whatever they want to put out and do the shock value and the shock factor. And when people are like, hey man, that's disrespectful, that's this, that's that. Hey, you can't talk about my art. Art is valid.
Yeah.
First Amendment. First Amendment is the First Amendment.
Right. like it's not even how the First Amendment works, man. I hate you guys. Like, we're not the government. God. I think that, again, like I said, I have, my amount of indie books has grown exponentially in a year. Like I went from being like backed 4 Kickstarter projects, in 2019, 2020, I became a super backer, like in the first 3 months. Yeah. And that's how many books and how many, you know what I mean? Like, because we should be supporting each other like that. But at the same time, like I said, it doesn't invalidate any book if it's bad. But I don't have to, oh man, you put out a book, so now I got to say it's great and be at your table just because you put it out. No, do something good, and then we can talk, not just anything, and think it's acceptable.
I mean, think of it like, the movies. People can put out, we see those, delisting movies that go straight to DVD. They put it out because they want to put it out. Don't mean we're going to like it and we're going to see it. And we're going to support it. Just like you're not going to support every DC movie. DC is a big label, but don't mean you're going to follow everything they release out, of the cinema side. And, animation side, different story. But,
He
just turned his back on us.
You didn't have to go DC. You didn't have to do that. You could have just said anybody. We were cool with not naming you and say DC. Not everything Marvel puts out is great. I mean, most of it was, but not everything they put out is great.
Yeah, WandaVision.
And like I tell people, TV version versus cinema version versus animation version is totally different on both spectrums. Like animation for DC kills the box versus Marvel, animation.
Yeah,
but then you have, the TV series, it's kind of here and there depending on which the TV series is. But then you have cinema. DC continues, not to do so well on the cinema side, but then Marvel is like blowing it out the box, and it's like not learning from each other where, lessons learned, or go talk to the animation side who's got their stories and their how the flow goes better, and incorporate that into the cinema side.
Man, I say bump all of that. Stop all of that. DC and Marvel, bring your money to the independent community. Forget all
there you
that.
Go.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm for that too.
Can I have both? Because Cat holding up the hammer was dope. I don't want to miss those moments like that. Like, DC's problem, honestly, if you watch the Snyder Cut, and even though it was long as hell, right? If they had actually let Zack Snyder do what he was going to do, it would have been fine. And so that's not DC necessarily. That's Warner Brothers, right? Like that's so it's a different kind of entity. And Warner Brothers has always been that kind of a studio. Joss Whedon is trash and has been trash for years. So what are you going to do? Like, right? Like, what are you gonna do? But and also Marvel is being smart because okay, so to compare the Marvel TV shows to the
CW.
CW stuff, like CW is
Yeah.
actually made for TV. The Marvel
Yes.
shows are not. The Marvel shows are
Yes.
made for cinema. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
it's like they're so you used to be able to compare like Agents of Shield and like the Flash, but you can't like the new
Yeah.
stuff. You can't. It's just like your part. You know, like you just can't do it. It's just not even. It's like a senior beating up a kindergartner. Like it just doesn't. It doesn't.
Yeah.
You can't do it, man. Yeah.
What
So
CBS?
you know.
So here's a question from Katie. Have you guys got any advice for an artist starting out into comics so that she doesn't come out here with some trash like we were just talking about?
I had tons of advice. You want to go first, Mal?
Yeah. Keep doing what you're doing. Obviously, this is your calling. It's a passion of yours. Do not suppress it. Continue to, create more art, and also be open to grow as an artist. I noticed that I'm only an artist, for example, who's a favorite of mine, Salvador La Roca. I'm probably saying the name wrong, but he used to do Excalibur in the late 90s, and he went on to do Extreme X-Men in 2001. I loved his Storm. I loved seeing his Psylocke and Bishop. I was kind of iffy on the long straight hair because we had just gotten over the Jerry curl, and then he had the dreadlocks, and then he was straight hair. But anyway, Salvador. Salvador is one of my favorites because I loved, that he was willing to, continue to improve on his craft. Because by the time he got to Uncanny X-Men, I want to say 2007, the early 490s, I want to say, was it 590s? I don't know. But anyway, when he came back to the to Uncanny X-Men, at that time, Storm was with the Fantastic Four, and she made her grand appearance trying to save Caliban, who was no longer this big, super strong Morlock. And if you compare that particular piece of Storm to 2001, it's like a world of difference. Like her lips are fuller, she looks black. You could tell that he was playing with, with a photorealistic, element to his artwork. I'm not going to, go on and on about that, but it's okay to experiment. It's okay to continue to push the envelope, and don't let anyone tell you that you cannot be who you're destined to be.
Yes.
Mariam?
I agree 100% with Malachi. The work is the part of it. Indie artists, and you guys know this very well, like always have weakness in anatomy. So I've seen a ton that start out and then they're still good artists, right? But like, those anatomy pieces will kill you because you're going to be doing panels,
Yes.
and, etc. I don't know, Katie, I don't know your skill level of what your, what your expertise, point is, but like work on your anatomy. That's just going to be, amazing for you in the future. And I know doing anatomy is boring, but just do it because that'll put you a step ahead of everybody else. The next part is to figure out what you want to do. Do you want to be an artist like for hire, or do you want to do your own book? A lot of artists, because they're already doing the art, they're like, oh, I can write it. And Malachi used a great example. I'm going to use another one that everybody knows. Jim Lee. Jim Lee is a dope artist. He's a horrible writer. Like, I'm sorry if Jim Lee never gives me a job because of that. But Jim Lee is true, bro. Like, your stories suck. Like, he can like frame a story or make a plot, but then like, when he actually has to start like writing them out, like they're not any good. So again, find where your expertise is. Find out what you want to do. Do you want to be an artist for hire and make the plot and then hire a writer to, flesh it out for you? That's super inexpensive comparatively. Malachi and myself are writers. We have to hire artists. That's expensive is all get out.
Yes.
So you're gonna be dealing with, a third of the cost of what, a writer hiring an artist do as an artist hiring a writer, if that's the way you choose. Get an editor. Even if you are going to write it yourself, get an editor you trust. Don't get somebody who's just going to do a grammar check for you. Like, you need a copy editor, you need a story editor, you need you know what I mean, like you need all these other things, a line editor, blah blah blah. And get some, again, it's indie, get somebody who can do all of that in one. Get a letterer. Again, don't try to do everything. Obviously, we have to hold and wear multiple hats as indie creators, but don't try to do everything. Don't kill yourself trying to do that, because that's all you're going to do. All you're going to do is kill yourself. It's just going to be bad for you.
Yeah.
So, take your time. Also, don't be afraid to sometimes put that stuff out there. If you've taken a project or a thing to as good as you can get it, and you're dying for people to see it, let them see it. And realize that even some of your best work, even some of our best work, has gotten shady comments, or somebody who just wants to talk. Don't let that affect you. Again, if you're working hard and doing what you got to do, then you're fine. But also, don't put yourself in a position. And I see this on Instagram a lot more than Facebook. Don't put yourself in a position, honestly, where you're doing rudimentary drawings and expecting people to like it like a Marvel comic. Oh, they don't like me because I'm black. They don't like me because I'm this. They don't like you because your art looks like a 12-year-old drew it. And nobody on your team will tell you. You know what I mean? So
They're not really
work
your
on
team.
your skills. Right?
Come on,
They're just a
Brian,
bunch of people hanging out with
you.
you. Wild Card Chronicles with all them colors, bro. If you don't knock it off, man.
No, I'm saying if I drew some art, it would be some 12-year-old art.
I opened up Wild Card Chronicles, and I was looking for prints, man. They had visuals on. I was like, oh shit, we got motorcycles, and we got guns and fights and punches. Like, where's Prince at? Because we got to have a concert. It's too. No,
that's the next comic. No,
right. But yeah, I think that kind of stuff is really, really important. Don't be too premature. Don't, people, I got to get it out there. No, man, you got to make it good. Especially if you're trying to stand in a space that is not constantly shrinking, but eyes are directed certain places. Like you have guys like Newton, Little Voice, right? You know what I mean? Like, Crescent City Monsters is a beautiful book. It don't matter what else is going on, right?
Listen.
Like, it's a gorgeous book when you look at it. So if you're going to get into a space where your book is going to be next to his, it can't look like Crayola Rocks. You know what I'm saying? And you think it's going to stand up next to it. It depends on what group you're going for and what you're trying to do. Tell that story the best way possible. Because you could put a manga book that's going to have technically like less detail, less lines next to Crescent City Monsters, and that manga book is going to go like Boy Beast. Boy Beast is a manga, right? By Matthew Jones. But you put those two pinups together, man, they're both fire. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Boy Beast is going to look just as good, but it's a manga. Whereas Newton is a gray tone, black and white comic.
Yes, that noir look.
Yeah, right. So just again, just work on your expertise and what you want to do, and get that to the best. Again, your work is going to be valid no matter what you do. But is it going to be palpable, and is it going to be accepted by the masses, which is what you want when you're putting it out there like that? It's going to depend on the look and your skill level with it, honestly.
Yes. I love the fact how we were talking about major labels try to support more of the indie industry. That, like, for example, Crunchyroll, they have been really adopting a lot of things that they've been seeing on webtoons, web comics out there, and they've been turning them into animation. Like, I've already seen, we have Lord Olympus that it's been animated. They have Gods of High School. I just finished watching that one. If you haven't watched that, just think of like, ultimate, fighting Mortal Kombat style. And but it's just like all these web comics that people just did because they wanted to get, they believed in their story. They had artists that were really behind it, and then got it out there. People loved it. And then it was one of those things. It's just like, I love that one of the people from Webtoons, like, write it with all your passion, because you don't know who's watching. And the next thing you know, because they never announced it, they didn't, all of a sudden you find out, God of High School, which was the very first one, a month later, it officially announced that they were being animated for Crunchyroll. And then it's like, okay, now we see why they're saying, put your passion in it, put your best into it, because someone like Crunchyroll may be looking at your comic or something else and say, this would be a good animation. Let's hit them up.
You never know who's watching, especially with social media, right? Like social media has such
Mhm.
far reach, and you just never know who's watching. One and two, overnight success doesn't happen overnight. Like
Yes.
people, oh man, they just make out of high school into an anime. Lord Olympus, I love that. But like, how long have these been going on in webtoons, right? And then
Exactly.
even
If
before that, like, how long did they have the idea? You just got to
Yes.
Yep.
keep at what you're doing,
Mhm.
and like like you said, write it with passion. Continue where you are, and the things that you want will happen. How those things
Yes.
come together, how it happens, who knows? But it does. You know what I mean? Like, but you got to keep that fire and that vigor going with it.
Mhm.
Exactly. Because what Lord Olympus, they got to what, I guess 8 seasons before they got finally picked up.
Yeah,
So
Really?
yeah,
yeah.
it's been going on for a while, and then all of a sudden, last year that's when they announced that they were turning it into animation.
I cannot wait
So
for it. It's so
so
beautiful.
and then now you're seeing like at Hot Topic, they have a whole merchandise line for Lord
Really?
Oh, did
Olympus.
they?
I
Yes,
had no idea.
T-shirts, everything for Lord Olympus for the different characters. So yeah, if you
Yeah.
go to Hot Topic, you'll
Okay.
see their whole line. So here's this creator who's been doing it, like you said, just on webtoons for over 8 years, because they release a episode every week or so. So
Mm.
they've probably been doing it a good 10 years. Then, like you said, the creative process before it came to webtoons, because webtoons, you got to go through the vetting process of
Yeah.
first you go through that one process of seeing if the fans really like it. And if they see enough people like it, then they make it into a series on there. And then you had that whole process, and now it's got to the point that now something that someone created is now got merchandise, going to be animated and everything. So it's one of
The
those that you
dream.
just got to do it.
People.
Oh, Jill was saying it also. Oh, that's right. They did announce it's going to be on Amazon. You can pre-order the graphic novel
I
for
need to.
Lord
Yeah, I saw
Olympus.
that one.
Yes,
Yeah.
they just announced that was 2 weeks ago.
I need that in my life.
Yes, you can pre-order it. I think it comes out. Is it April or May? It comes out. So you can pre-order it now.
Let me see what it
Okay,
is.
lean forward to some glasses here.
Go
I'm sure
ahead.
that'd be great.
Zooming in. Zooming in.
Oh.
It says that's good
So
advice. Thanks. I did the art for a short story in Elsewhere Volume 2 anthology. So I'm feeling a bit nervous about what people think of it, as it's the first comic I've worked on, and I think cover art might be something I'd like to get into.
That's good money too, in it
yeah,
too.
right. So I'm gonna
Oh,
say, man, if Lori Foster and the team from Unlikely Hero Studios has your art in their book, you're already starting off on the right path. I really respect what
Yeah.
Unlikely Hero Studios does. They're really, one, they're champions of indie. Two, they put out amazing products every single time. Also, Lori don't take no shit. You know what I mean? Like, so if you're in there, you're with some really, really, really great company. So you're already, like I said, you're already starting off on a good pace.
Yeah.
Lord, y'all, he has appeared in the comics. Morgan is now in the
No,
In the
premises.
Oh, the Billy Goat Gruff is here.
Oh,
Ain't
Billy
nobody
Goat
come.
Gruff.
Ain't nobody come and walk off on your bridge, Billy Goat. Leave people
Oh,
alone.
you just took me back, yo.
Yeah. I'm coming out swinging, Morgan. I'm not playing with you
Oh,
because we
Lordy.
definitely trolled you, so I'm not gonna let you do it to me.
What's up, Reg? Oh my gosh. So that was great advice, guys. Good job with that one. I didn't really have to say nothing. I love it. See, I knew. Morgan, the question is you
He
coming
had
up in
that
the
hair on
building?
the back of his head, neck start standing up like somebody's talking about me.
Because we were.
Right? Yeah, it happened. Yeah.
Yeah, Morgan been talking smack about you, Malachi.
I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I'm used
Calling
to.
you out.
I'm used to the shade. No reciprocate, so it's cool.
Damn it.
I mean, when you're doing big things and you're bright like the sun, I mean, there is going to be some shade.
Yes.
True.
Yes.
And as a Leo, I'm used to it. I'm used to people trying to come for me, and then I send them back.
Yeah, you send them back packing.
Right.
And I enjoy it.
Yes, you do.
I take pleasure in it. I do.
Yes, those Leos, they absolutely love doing that. One of my girlfriends is the same way. Oh, Morgan said, I most certainly have not.
Morgan, work on those tears that you promised your fans, okay?
Right. Where's the cologne at, Morgan? Where's the cologne?
Yeah, where's that cologne at?
With a cologne, with a barbecue sauce and a holy water,
mouthwash.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I will say though, so for having a trailer, the way he did, I thought it was pretty dope. To be honest with you,
yeah.
Even the speech and just the little subtle touches, and I think that So Moana, you and I talked about cultural stuff when we were reviewing what was the movie? God damn it.
Finding Ohana.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're talking about cultural things. So I thought it was pretty dope, and I want to give Morgan and Danny props for making a Black church thing accessible. Right. So I've seen that in books where they've tried to do it. I think John Grisham tried to do it once, and it's fucking ridiculous. You see it in movies, and you can see the authentic version, and then you can see the fake version. You can see where Black people either got to just direct that scene, and it rings true, or where it's okay, hey, you guys go and be Black, do like Black church, and you can tell it's a white person directing it, it's a very very stark distance. Yeah, right. So I want to say again, I want to give them a shout out because I thought the way that trailer was done, one for an indie comic, it had a look of motion panels and blah blah blah. That's standard for us. But I think that some of the cultural touches, just in the speech pattern, just in the little things, and to be able to translate that to a wide audience, I think it was done really well without hammering the hey, this is Black people stuff. You know what I mean? Home. Because I think sometimes, I don't feel like you can be too heavy-handed with Black people stuff, but I feel like when other people are trying to tell Black people stuff, they are super heavy-handed. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're see, it happens because he's Black, and we already know that part. So just story part, and we're gonna get that in subtext. And so I think that they handled that really well. I'm pretty excited for Lumberjacks on number 2, just based on that trailer, and I look forward to some pretty big things from their campaign.
Yeah, absolutely,
bro.
See, Morgan, you thought it was gonna be shade up in here.
Oh, there's shade.
Oh, it's still gonna be shade.
No.
We can do both. I can give props.
Yeah, he gonna get it.
We have men of multitasking and diversity up in here. They know how to do that.
Right.
They're going to give you your props and then give you shade.
And then give you shade. Yes.
It's shady, yes.
Yes, I'm excited for that campaign too. And for those who are backing the Moana in the Week podcast, you can get the Lumberjacks number 1 in the indie bundle. For those who have already backed on the first couple of days, you'll get that for free. But
I got it. I was like, I have most of the indie comics. So I was like another bundle. But never mind. I got them anyway. It's cool. It's fine. It's fine.
It was a dope bundle though. I was excited to have all of those creators on there.
Yeah, honestly, I think that this season has been really good for that because I felt the same way about ours. We had a ton of people. What do you say? What? He definitely does have them on standby.
It's all so freaking true. I mean, and they keep on growing.
Regular chat, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah,
I send this dude a text message without getting stormed back.
Did I get one back earlier today?
Yeah, man.
I did. Yeah. I seen a couple.
Yeah. I think I was actually mad about something, and he sent me storm thinking, "Oh, that's too bad, Brian." I'm actually angry, man. What are you doing?
No, but you liked it.
Yeah, no, it was hilarious. It pissed me off because I wanted to be mad, but I couldn't be anymore.
I can't let people be mad around me. Just working out.
Yeah.
It is. Thank you, Morgan.
Yes, it is a superpower.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I think that there is a group of creators that realizes that getting eyes on one of us or more of us gets eyes on all of us, which is a really, really
Yes.
great thing. Which is to include, now I'm gonna say, at the risk of being controversial, I'm gonna say that there are some creators at the top of our echelon, the very top of quote unquote indie. They're barely hanging on to their indie status. But I'm gonna say Sebastian Jones from Stranger Comics really goes out of his way to support, right?
Mhm.
Like, and he literally is at the top of the game, right? But he's a guy that every time I have a campaign, since I started, even before I knew him, before he and I interacted, when I was hitting him up with like, I remember the first time he pledged to one of my campaigns, and he's always a guy who's like, I could give a shit less about your product. Like, I invest in people, and so if I like what you're doing, I like what your vision is, then I'm gonna invest in you. So imagine my surprise when Justice 1 hit, and I see Sebastian Jones, pledge, and I was like, oh shit. So of course I go and IM him, thank you, blah 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 blah, and we struck up, like a friendship out of that. He's a guy who I can talk to or ask for questions. And again, this is the guy who's at the top of the game. He's developing with HBO and on and on and on. He's at the top of the game. And there are some others that will remain nameless that are, quote unquote, at the top of the game, or the highest selling black indie book ever, or whatever they want to, whatever they claim and whatever they do, but they have no regard for the community that they're part of. They couldn't give a shit less. And I appreciate people like Sebastian, right, for reaching back.
Yes.
And for saying like, nah, I support you too. You know what I mean? And for he's done, webinars, blah, 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 blah. And it's not just about the making money part. He's teaching people like what to do and how to be successful. And that's dope. That's super dope. More you say something else?
Sip on that tea.
I look old, man. I don't like doing this because I'm like, what?
You got to increase the zoom on your screen. You got to increase the zoom on it so you can see everything.
Yeah, it's killing me, man. I got the little 4-panel. It's too much stuff. I'm on my phone. I don't know what I'm doing.
So anyway.
But yes, but yeah, as far as Wingless Comic, y'all have definitely been kicking out some amazing stuff from your line. Of course, I am definitely one of y'all backers on all of your stuff from from Justice to her, even the newest project. So, I will say when cons come back around, before you send me y'all newest stuff, I do like my stuff autographed. And then there's Justice one. I need to know who I need to give this to or send to, because with the paradox still going on, probably until 2022, I need to go ahead and get this signed and be in my collection. Because I like all my comics signed. I got a whole shelf of all my autographed indie comics, and I like all my stuff signed. Ask Marcus Williams and Greg Burnham. I stalked them in Georgia. I'm like, oh, I see you at such and such place. I sent a message right on Facebook. I'm like, Greg, I'm coming. He's like, where you going for? You sent me this stuff from the Kickstarter and none of y'all signed it. I'm coming right now. And here I come with my mask on. Sign.
That's the hashtag. I'll stalk them in Georgia.
Exactly. Oh, you gonna be in Alabama next weekend? Okay.
She's serious stuff. Yeah.
Well, because I love to have it autographed, because I mean, on mainstream, like when we are at cons, so many people get the people from Marvel and DC to autograph their comics and stuff, and it's like, since I've been collecting it on the indie front, I feel that their stuff is just on the same equivalent. So I want mine autographed. I don't care if you're still on the lower end or you at that higher echelon you're talking about to graduate into, the Marvel DC, Kingdom Come. I want my stuff autographed. That way I could say I got the first thing. I support them since they were knee high to grasshopper. I got all 20 issues from Wingless Comics. And now look at them. They're partnered with Marvel. I remember when Malachi was just coming up with the concept, and then all of a sudden he released Earth. It was so beautiful.
That's how it was 2 years ago when I met you at BlurCon.
Yes.
It wasn't out yet.
It wasn't out
Can't
yet,
wait till
and
Malachi.
then
Can you imagine the memes in Malachi? See, I'm not even looking forward to the comics, right? But like the first time Malachi gets to license, like legit do something with Marvel, I'm looking forward to the memes he's gonna make with her and Storm. This is gonna be like a meme comic.
Can you imagine?
Like the whole time. It's gonna be the
Yes.
We're not gonna after that.
making history.
I have to finish that issue. Just plan it now.
it will be a weekly, like they'll have a special dedicated Facebook or Instagram for Malachi. That's going to be the her and Storm memes, and every week, maybe twice a day, you will have a new meme with the two of them.
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to say what's up to Paige Alford real quick. Alfred Page of Blowtorch fame. I'm gonna say of Blowtorch fame, but my boy is on Second Sight. Real cool dude. He been rocking with me since I got into the industry. Before I even knew what was up, he's one of the first cats I talked to. Real good dude. It's great to see his books coming back. Seeing Chess come back, seeing Pinpoint come back, man. Also, Second Sight is doing some real great things over there too. Bradley Golden and Marcus Roberts. So, man, I'm super proud of them as well, man. They're doing great stuff.
He said Malachi have control over Marvel's Twitter feed.
Ooh,
want it all.
Ooh, destruction immediately.
You know what?
Oh
I
my God.
don't use Twitter like that. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe Instagram I'll do it, but Twitter, it does not appeal to me. They have good memes that I still when they're posted on Facebook.
Yes.
But on Twitter, I tried several times and I have an account that I've not logged into in the last 2 years. Yeah. I guess I'm just too old.
Well, you got Facebook. It's doing that for you.
Yeah, Facebook, as you guys well know. If you need a dirty meme, I'm your guy.
Okay.
You want that pure filth? I got you.
Now it looks like a couple people are asking who's going shirtless, and of course Morgan said it's the all the muscles bros. That's all it is.
Wow, I feel like she said like a couple people are asking, and it's only Morgan. Like
it is two people. It was a couple. It was a couple.
I'm like, wait. I'm going to check the comments myself because I don't trust it.
It is two. It was Alfred Page and Morgan. They both were asking, so it technically was two, which was a couple.
It was legit two.
You still doing that?
Yes, we are.
Oh my God.
Oh wow.
Let me get my money ready.
See, you know what's special about this? I'm gonna give the audience something real quick.
My Kickstarter money ready.
I mean,
we started off shirtless, but like, you know.
Oh, there you go. Go ahead, Malcolm.
Okay.
Chicka wow wow. Chicka wow wow.
I need y'all to bag.
You see a little Daisy Dukes?
Hold the camera back a little bit.
Oh, he got the Daisy Dukes on. Hey! Send a pair over to Morgan. He said he got some, Morgan needs them Daisy Dukes for when he does his photo shoot. There you go, bro. We brought up the guns.
Yeah, we get one last one.
Welcome to the gun show.
How we got talked into that, I have no idea. Whose idea?
I remember we were joking about it like a gag.
Right? Oh, you know what? Speaking of which, I'm gonna go out here and say, everybody thinks Moana is nice, but she's slick as hell.
Oh yeah,
because that shirtless thing definitely started out as a joke, And it went from a joke to like, hey, we'll have you guys on the show on Thursday. You can do it there in 12 seconds. And I knew it the entire time. Nobody missed it, but I was like, that's some smooth shit. So like,
she was sharing, posting, okay. Like, I was shirtless. I'm like, we are
right.
I'm just trying to give you the shine.
I couldn't say no to my fans at that point. Like we had made a deal with people who support us. Like, okay, I guess I gotta. Here we go with the shirt off.
I felt so objectified.
See, but what I appreciate is that people that deliver on their word. Now, Morgan Iverson, I'm calling you out again. I am still waiting for you to deliver on your word, sir.
Did he even sing?
No, he hasn't sang yet.
Now he has to. Now he's got a bunch of other promises from the last, thing, because he's supposed to make some barbecue sauce, some holy water, some mouthwash, some body wash, and then do a photo shoot of him in a lumberjack outfit with his shirt open, glistening.
Oh.
You talking about, bro? What did you talking about, Morgan? Stop acting ignorant.
Hey, you said all this on Whitney Houston's internet, so I don't know why you're playing.
We'll have the Faces Indie calendar real soon.
That's right.
We did talk about a calendar too. Yeah,
May.
Yes. We said that was going to be our next Kickstarter for the Moana Nui podcast, is having, our indie creator calendar. Have y'all glistening and everything. We'll have little spray bottles to spray y'all to make y'all look like y'all glistening.
And all. But while Malachi must be stopped, I need like a little bit more time though, because I was not prepared for this. Like my arms look good, but I still got some crunches I need to do. I need like 6-month lead time. You gotta let me know. I'm gonna have to cut weight or something.
Just have Greg do it all. Just have him do all the months in the calendar. Yeah. Just do it. We'll support you, obviously.
Oh yeah, you can get who else?
Look at Malachi just doing the poses like this. His is all like, got his tuxedo shirt on and
just like that.
Who else do we need? TJ could do it. TJ. Who else could?
Wait, is TJ's gonna be interactive? Is it gonna be his voice?
Oh, TJ.
I feel like I would buy that calendar. He's like, yo,
this is life insurance
calendar. Yo, this is
we didn't have those things like in the cards when you open it up.
October, November.
He pops up.
Like, yes. Shit, I'd buy that calendar.
His month is a pop-up with sound.
Pick my paycheck. Pick my entire paycheck.
That's too funny. Paige is saying, Brian, what's coming out next in Nightfall? And can Moana be a character in the pages?
Ooh.
So, okay, to be fair, to be 100%,
have me and Moana as a little assassin squad.
Do it as a dragon.
Right. So, to be fair, like I said, there's always a cameo tier in Nightfall, in each campaign. So anybody can be part of Nightfall. That's the fair part of it.
So Paige basically says you can Moana, sponsor that for Moana.
No, but seriously.
So I was about to say, Paige, you don't need to, right? Because Sis and I have already spoken, and this was like, I think almost a year ago now. And along with some other really, really talented creators, there is a pretty large cameo section that's going to be in number 5. So she's the Wildcard Chronicles, or the character of Moana's choice, is already in the book. Is already in number 5. Along with Alfred. Alfred's got a character, a cameo in number 5. Greg Alisi's got one.
Nice.
3 art. Robert Jeffrey.
Nice.
Matthew Jones. Rodney Jenkins. Like I said, it's a pretty hefty. And those are just the ones off the top of my head. I think I got about 10.
Wow.
But a pretty hefty group of indie creators that I've worked with, and people who I've really, so I chose people that honestly rock with me since the beginning, right? Like the indie community is really cool in that sometimes people just mess with you for no reason other than they're like, okay, I mess with you.
Yeah.
And those 10, 11. There were more, right? But those 10 really were the people who just mess with me and have regardless since I started. So yes, Moana does have a cameo, and if she chooses to make it for the podcast, that works. If she chooses to make it for Wildcard Chronicles, that works. It's completely on Moana at this point, or at that point. We got issue 2. Obviously now, backers will have the digital versions early next week.
Yeah.
They're already ready. We always do our stuff ahead of time. So they'll have issue 2. We're coming right back in May, late May, early June with issue 3. Then hold on. And then August, September, we're doing.
That sounds so wrong.
Wait, what?
What is being nasty?
Of course.
I'm coming through that hell.
Jesus,
fuck. It's a shame because he really is, though. He's in it too, man. So it's like I want to be like, nah, but yeah.
Listening Morgan is lumberjack.
So he act up. It's gonna be really Morgan in a lumberjack outfit, and that's it.
Exactly, with his shirt open and, like I said, glistening. Have him glistening.
It's a little nappy chest hairs. Don't forget that.
He said that's racist.
Honestly, late May for Nightfall 3. Wow. Yeah, because there are no black lumberjacks. They don't lie.
Oh, boom.
Late May, so probably August. Late July, early August will be Justice issue 1 and her issue. Sorry, Justice issue 2 and her issue 1. It's probably going to be a double feature. So we're gonna need to blow that one out the water, guys. And then what's that? August. Probably end of September, beginning of October. We're gonna have Nightfall issue 4, and we'll wrap up Nightfall completely next February.
Oh wow!
Issue 5 will come out. We'll have the trade
paperback
that's my birthday
ready for,
month. Backers who want to get all 5 in one. Again, we're just we set up something to where we can produce content year round. And that's what we like to do, between 4 and 6 releases a year. So we got some real great stuff that's going to hit in 2022. We're gonna have some new book announcements then. We're also going to get probably a Lux issue 0 and a Crimson Overdrive issue 0 this year. Some are either in Nightfall 3 or Justice number 2. It depends. But we're just going to be chock full of content, and we plan on doing that all the time. But if you think about it, even doing 6 books a year as an indie is pretty big. You're doing a Kickstarter every other month. And don't get me wrong, we have no problem doing it. We can do it. What we're dependent on, and what we need is the fan support. You know what I mean? Honestly, because these things don't get made in a vacuum. So I know that sometimes people get like Kickstarter fatigue. Oh, I've seen them before. Yeah. But it's the same as buying a comic every month. It's the same as your pull list. Hey, if you want content from us every other month, if you want us putting out 6 books a year, which we can definitely do, you got to support so that we can continue to produce that, and we can have our 2 and 3 different teams making this stuff, so we can constantly give you content, which is where we want to be as indies. We want to continue pushing stuff out for you guys. So, we got to definitely full schedule this year. Definitely.
Yeah.
Morgan wants to know if y'all selling rocks.
I just want to add something quickly. Since we are, dealing with a busy schedule this year, I'm not sure if everybody has seen the illustration that Dorfis and I did of her and Spirit's Destiny.
Yes.
So I spoke to her early today, and I wanted to make a little announcement. So we're working on one shot, with our girls teaming up. So we're hoping by the end of the year we could have something, planned for you guys. But yeah,
sounds like we're gonna have to bring you back towards the end of the year to make another announcement.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So y'all remember at the beginning of the show when I was like, man, Malachi don't know how to do spoilers. Either he tells everything or he tells nothing. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
Y'all remember that? Yeah.
I mean, I didn't talk about the story.
Y'all remember that? Y'all remember? I remember how I said this is not like show Malachi. I was like, this is Malachi every day. You remember that? Yeah, I just want to make sure that y'all
I don't have a filter.
remember that, right?
Sorry.
You know, I just want to make sure. Okay, cool. So y'all remember? It's cool.
Okay.
It's cool. That's it. I just wanted to.
Morgan said you got
double back
that
on
from
my part.
Danny Quick.
Yeah,
was-
team spoiler alert.
Yes, team alert.
I just put it-
Oh man. Let's see. Okay.
Well, so we're also going to be working on a wingless Spirits Destiny Universe joint project. Yeah, I try to make it like a real thing now. I hate y'all. I hate you so much. Right? Thank you.
Her piece is amazing. I enjoyed talking to her.
Yes. I'm looking forward to I'm a big fan of Spirit's Destiny
Yes.
and her, so let's get it on. So real quick, let me I'm gonna share my screen for a second because we promised our backers that we would do a giveaway after we hit the 50 backer mark, which we did a little bit
Yes.
earlier. I can't remember when it was already. Was it yesterday? Today? I don't know. Time
Yeah,
is a mystery.
late
to me.
last night when we were in bed.
Yes. So let's see. Where is my screen at? Let me.
So all the people who pledged before, as we said, anyone who pledged up until then gets put into this drawing. We're drawing for a nice little packet that someone's going to be bestowed upon for getting their pledge in on time.
Okay. Let's see.
Look here, Morgan.
They know I'm their fucking niggas.
Morgan is determined to have me with the OnlyFans.
You never know, Morgan. Maybe you'd be the winner. Who knows?
Feminist is a will.
Okay, let's do this. Let's see how this thing works. Boom.
Here we go. Oh, here we go.
Let's see.
That's pretty cool.
The winner is.
Where'd it go? No one. Come on.
Go
It was
back.
working earlier. Hold on.
Now you got to close one of them 150 tabs down.
It's only 5. It's only 5. Oh, the winner
There
is
it is.
Victor Dandridge.
Victor Dandridge. Yes.
Victor Dandridge in the building.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Absolutely.
Congratulations, Victor.
I will put it to you in the DMs and you will get your prize. We're not going to wait till the end. You're going to get it right away. So
there you go. There you go.
Victor Dandridge is our winner. Congratulations.
And then,
yeah, but thanks everybody.
And if you missed earlier, Morgan said he's calling bull on the drawing. He's calling bull on the drawing.
You call bull on everything. You can't call bull on nothing but yourself. I'm gonna need you to deliver on your promises, Morgan.
He ain't ready for that. He ain't ready for that. I'm telling you, he ain't ready for that.
Oh man.
You called him out on stuff. He ain't ready for that.
Well,
let's see what we got going. You're gonna say something? Go ahead.
So, ladies, no, I was just gonna say, like, I'm obviously having a great time and always have a great time with you guys. But my phone is also dying because I do this with my phone and not my computer. So I have to unfortunately sign off now before I just get cut off and look stupid. I'd rather do it with a little bit of dignity. Thank you guys for having us. Thank you for tricking us into taking our shirts off here. Thank you for. I don't mind being exploited a little bit, you know, a piece of meat, a little Magic Mike action. So no, thank you guys. We had a great time. It's always love and it's always fun. So you guys are doing great on your Kickstarter. We're living the campaign. Obviously, I was a day one backer.
Absolutely.
And
Thank
Wingless Comics
you.
is always going to support you guys. So thank you guys for everything.
Yeah, no, thank you guys for coming on and being a part of it. We look forward to what you guys are creating the rest of the year.
Yes.
And we're here for you. Whenever you're ready to launch, we will be happy to welcome you back.
Much
Exactly.
appreciated.
We'll be back and we'll be trolling Morgan. So
Always. That's always going to be part of the package. So
Yes, because Morgan will be back on here. Him and Danny will be on with us on April 6th. So
Yes.
you'll be seeing
And
it posted.
we
So
will be
y'all
as
can be
well.
right on there.
sounds good.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye, ladies.
All
All
right,
right,
thanks.
guys. Take
Bye.
care. Awesome
He's
sauce.
today,
It was
man.
fun.
And of course, y'all that missed earlier, Moana, I know I emailed you, so I don't know if you have it up, about our stretch goals that we have going on,
Oh,
that
yeah, let me see.
a chance to um, have some incentives for all of you to help us meet our different goals. Right now, we're releasing our stretch goals, but we later on will release also online some of our add-on tiers that we're going to add on that you can be able to take advantage of as we start hitting our different goals. So we definitely continue sharing about our Kickstarter, continue sharing with your friends, your family, and anyone you know that loves comics, that loves being involved within the community. Definitely forward it to them. We also will have a sponsor tier. So if someone is looking to be to get their name out there and things like that, we do have we already have it out there.
It's not up yet, but we will.
It will be out there.
Yeah, we just need to get it up there.
Yeah, so it'll be out there soon. So if anyone has like a business or anything that they would like to get a sponsorship with the Moana Nui podcast, we will have that up momentarily. But as I mentioned before, we will have these bonuses. These are our incentives. Once we hit 2,500, which I think we're less than $250 away from that. We have a special incentive that if we hit 2,500 on the April 6th podcast, the one we just mentioned, that we'll have Morgan and Danny on it. If we hit $2,500 on our Kickstarter, I will cosplay during that podcast. So you will see me in cosplay on that podcast while we're interviewing and talking with Morgan Iverson and Danny Quick. Once we hit $2,750, you get to follow and watch Moana take on yoga in a very special podcast of her, doing her downward dog and everything else. And then, of course, when we hit $3,250, we will have Michael Watson doing his 25 push-up challenge, and we will release his cheerleading video. Yes, we said cheerleading. You cannot miss that moment, that amazingly video. So help us get to that tier. And then, of course, at $3,500, all the backers who do have their pledge in, when we hit that amount, we will have each of them vote on what my next cosplay will be. I will debut it on the podcast, and each of our backers will get a photo bonus of me in that cosplay. If you are if you're a physical backer, you will get a print of it. And then if you are a virtual backer, you will get a like a background digital copy of the photo. And of course, once we hit $4,000, we're going to have an exclusive premiere song created and performed by musical artist Alan Z. He is both a rapper and R&B singer and actor. If you watch the Moana Nui podcast, he's been on the podcast. If you watch Wu Assassins, his music is on Wu Assassins, and iZombie on CW, and so much more. So we're very excited about that one. And then anyone on our Kickstarter will get access to that song when we release it after hitting that goal. So definitely spread the word, add on some add-ons to bump up your pledge level, and let's get these get us to these numbers so we can definitely hit these incentives for all of you to enjoy. So definitely be on the lookout. We're also going to be, like I said, releasing shortly of some special add-ons that we're going to have as we continue to hit our numbers. That you have special chances of taking advantage of that are exclusively only for the Moana Nui podcast. So be on the lookout. It's going to be some amazing, amazing add-ons that you can take advantage of.
Yep. So I am excited. I need to go make some more mock-ups so y'all can know about all of these and just understand what we're trying to bring here. And one of the add-ons that Dana mentioned is I'm really excited about because it's one of my favorite creators, and
yes,
his commissions are not available too often. So definitely, when did we say we were going to release that one?
We're going to release that one when we hit.
I think it's when we hit goal or when we hit.
No, we're going to release that one once we hit 75 backers.
Okay, yeah, sorry, 75 backers.
Yes.
Yeah, so when we have 75 backers, you guys are going to want to be in on this.
And there's only going to be a few slots, so you will definitely be fighting over those few slots to get that. Because once we announce who it is, you all will be fighting to get those slots to get those exclusive commissions from him.
Yes, absolutely. And his family, we have had his property on the podcast before, but we don't want to spoil it yet. We don't want to be team spoiler alert tonight. Maybe another night, but
exactly when it's time.
But just know that he's a badass artist for sure.
For real.
Yeah. But let me show one more thing. So this thing came in the mail today. I'm really excited because it is the Moana Nui exclusive collector bags. Yay!
Woo, look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
Let's put this down. Stop screaming. Yes, like that's gonna be so awesome. It looks really good. Like it came out beautiful. The colors, like how some printers they don't quite get it right in terms of like all the different tones and the shading and stuff. No, this is accurate. I'm happy with it. So we're gonna add on the collector bags. Morgan said that is dope. I know, right?
Yes.
Like we have collector bags for season 1 and 2. So we're just gonna have to see what kind of goodies we can put up in here because I got so many goodies.
Yes.
I might make it a game night bag because we got the official. We don't make these available too often, but we have like the Wild Card Chronicles like deck of cards. So for spades night or game night, you can have those. I might make it a game night tier because we got like the Wild Card Chronicles collectible puzzles and the cards. So I gotta go dig. We even got poker chips, so I gotta go look at all the goods we got.
Yes.
Oh yes, I love seeing our brand everywhere. It's amazing.
Yes. Let's make it global. Let your people know in Japan, in China, in Korea know, in Egypt. If you got, people that are in the military station everywhere, let them know. We ship. We will ship.
Actually, we had a backer from Japan back today. They did the digital Megatron because
nice.
That's why I offer like the digital tiers because shipping to international is so sporadic, and it's ridiculous. I think the cheapest international shipping is like $30, it's crazy. And it can go all the way up to like $80, like for no reason. So it's definitely important to have a digital tier so people can, enjoy from all over the world, because the Moana Nui podcast is global, and that is
Yes.
always our goal, to reach people wherever they are. So, I think that's it for tonight, sis. Unless you have something else, because my belly is getting hungry, and I didn't really eat dinner.
Yes. Well, once again, like I said, continue to support the Moana Nui podcast. Be on the lookout once we announce some of these add-ons, because they're not going to be a whole lot of some of these add-ons. So you got to jump on it as soon as you get the email announcement or see us posting it online. So if you are already following the Kickstarter, you'll get notified with a Kickstarter email from that, to be able to get access to some of these exclusive add-ons that we're going to be getting, that each of y'all can be able to enjoy once we hit our goals on the number of backers that we are pushing for. So, and then of course, as you saw, once we hit our monetary goals, you get these special incentives. So, definitely. I already see Morgan's got a suggestion, which I'm not going to confirm or deny. That's going to be one of your choices. But you will find out once we hit that goal.
Yes.
So get your people and help us get that goal. And then you'll get to vote on what y'all get to see me cosplay as.
Absolutely.
And get a picture of it.
Yes. I second Melina. Melina's she's one of my favorite characters from Mortal Kombat. So
yes.
He said that's boo.
He wants a recount. It ain't a recount if it doesn't add up to cash. We need money. That is money. And according to Kickstarter, we haven't hit that number yet.
Yes, we haven't hit it yet. So we are going to get there, though. I'm confident that we are.
Yes, continue spreading the word and continue. I mean, we're having a great, strong first week, but we know it can be even stronger as we get ready for the weekend. So
yes.
I feel in the next 2 days y'all can help us meet that first monetary goal of 2,500. So come on.
Yes. And thanks to Katie. She said she picked the digital because shipping to the UK is expensive. Yeah, Katie, I thought about putting up like a separate physical tier where we add shipping after the campaign, but I am personally not a fan of when creators do that, because I like to know what I'm committing to beforehand. But on the same flip side of that coin, like as a creator, like I don't want to be in the hole on like if I estimate wrong and then I'm way short, which happened to me actually in my previous campaign. I did a canvas, and I think I estimated for like
that.
$20, and the shipping came out to like almost 60. So yeah, I definitely don't want to be in that position, and I want to keep good rapport with our backers and be sure that we're delivering on all of our claims and our commitments to all of you. Yeah, for sure. So thank you for supporting the digital. We certainly appreciate that. That is just as good. And Morgan said, if I pay $30 for shipping, I need Jesus to sprinkle blessing flakes on it. You're so silly.
With an autographed photo of himself in the manger.
Yes. He talking about, see, now Morgan, you talk about some other kind of tier.
That's a special tier. If you want, that's a special tier. You're still trying to push for them OnlyFans. We do not have an OnlyFans.
Well, she does have an event consultation, though. So perhaps you can do an event consultation that you can persuade her to become OnlyFans. I don't know. I'm just saying. But no, we do. Seriously, though, we do have. If you need help planning an event, or whether it be a Kickstarter project or something that you have planned in the future, and you need someone with amazing event planning expertise and a very strong network in this particular area, I would highly recommend that you hire Dana. She has definitely helped to elevate the podcast like way beyond where I envision things to be right now. So if that's something you need and you are serious about what you are creating, I would highly recommend Dana. She's awesome. Of course, I say that, but on the other hand, I'm like, oh God, but I need her plan, her time. Oh yes. Oh my gosh. Morgan talked about, yeah, I'm eating in my bedroom. Did you hear the song play? Okay, so are you gonna sing it though? Because if you're gonna sing it, I'm gonna bring you right on up. Come on, Sil.
Exactly. April 6th. Go ahead and me. Get them vocals. Get them vocals ready.
Man, that was the joint though. There's a meeting in my bedroom. See, you don't want me to sing. You don't want me to sing. All right. Well, another great night of here on the podcast. It's always fun to hang out with y'all. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Thank you for backing. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing. Once again, link in the banner down there. I had to throw that in there. Alrighty, guys. I hope you guys have a good evening. Get some good rest, and we will see you guys next time. Probably going live again this weekend, and just hanging out. I wish we could do music, but Facebook be tripping about copyright. So
yes,
but
unless we pull it from YouTube, we should be all right for that.
Oh yeah, that's true. Nah, but they still detect on Well, if we keep it on just YouTube, I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, so YouTube exclusive stream. Yeah, maybe this weekend. Okay.
Exactly.
We'll think about that.
Pull music from that. We're usually okay, but once you go outside of that, they be like, no. The following countries cannot be playing this song.
Yeah. Yeah, because I want to do some what do you call those reaction videos? I would love to do that.
Yes. Like a new song that just came out and we react to it, whether it's like K-pop or R&B or something like that. Like we should have it as an incentive that we have our backers vote on a song for a video for us to check out, and we'll have someone like we'll have Michael Watson obtain those votes, and then he has plays it for us, and y'all get to see our reaction. Now, if any of y'all have watched the podcast, especially when we're just doing it off the cuff like this, if I'm not prepared for something and it catches me off guard, my face does go sideways. So just be prepared. If it's something I want prepared for, my face will tell all of y'all what I'm thinking before it comes out of my mouth.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, Katie. Facebook is a hater sometimes.
Yeah. The only place I've seen is when people share like YouTube videos, and it'll be perfectly fine for that. But anything else, it's like
interesting. Oh, well, then we need to share music from YouTube. Then that's the ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I got you. Alrighty, y'all. We love y'all. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you guys next time. Aloha, malama pono, ahui ho.